What's up, guys? Back with another version of Defender of the Crown. This one, the Apple IIGS. I don't know a lot about the Apple IIGS. I understand that it does play the old Apple II games. I understand that the GS stands for graphics and sound. So we're talking about a more powerful machine than the old Apple II. But I also understand there's a lot of limitations, and we'll get into it when we start playing Defender of the Crown. Emulation is going to help me make the game a little bit faster, a little bit more playable. But during the mini games, I'm going to have to slow it down to have any sort of chance to actually play the game. It's like old computers. If you just slapped a faster processor in your computer, suddenly the game's running faster than it's supposed to be. So that's going to be a problem. So anyway, I don't know a lot about the Apple IIGS, and I don't have a great understanding of the emulation scene for the Apple IIGS. It seems largely dead. I am using, I think it's GS Plus is the name of what I'm using, and it is basically an offshoot of KEGS, K-E-G-S. There's some Apple IIGS enthusiasts out there trying to keep this software alive, and unfortunately it doesn't seem like there's a lot of them. So if anybody wants to take up the call to arms and help preserve some of this old software, that'd be pretty awesome. But let's go ahead and get into the game, and I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler. I was really looking forward to this version. I'd heard some really good things, but largely I'm disappointed. Let's get it going. By the way, Apple IIGS, here we have a GUI, which, again, for the time, I thought was pretty advanced. Let's get this started. So you can see the graphics and the sound quality is rather good. This game gets extra bonus points because for the first time we can skip these cutscenes that I've read a million times before. I do need to flip the disk. So I will eject disk 1 or side 1 and insert side 2. And then here we go. We have the same cast of characters as always. One of the problems I'm going to point out right away with my emulation is right now I'm moving my mouse to the right and it hits an invisible wall. So occasionally I have to if you see me doing something weird with my mouse, I am like recalibrating the mouse by finding the edges of the screen. You can see there's an invisible wall there. Now I can go down all the way, so you'll see me doing this occasionally. It seems to be, I don't know if this would have appeared on the original hardware, but in the emulation it happens on certain games. I have no chance to win at swordplay, so I'm leaning towards just playing Cedric and being done with it. I don't know. I'll try Wilfred. I do like how they include this entire scene before they put text over it. It's pretty cool. And I thought the graphics for the scene was pretty good. Same story as always. And see, my mouse is stuck again. So again, I don't know if that's an emulation problem, assuming it is. Like the computer mouse on my PC is getting misaligned with the mouse inside the emulator, I think. I actually like this starting. You'll notice that the map looks like the Atari ST version, but I start with 20 Army, which is not the same. I'm going to go ahead and put all of my soldiers but one into my army. And this territory right here, I'm starting to learn, and this might be true in the other versions, I just never realized it. this territory right here gives you a ton of income and a ton of vassals. So you see my army went from 19 guys up to 32 just by taking that one territory. And I also have enough treasure to buy myself a catapult already, which sounds pretty good, actually. I think this territory is also pretty good, so I might go ahead and take that one and then come back here. I want to keep my army intact, though. I have noticed a really strange glitch in this game that I do not like. And actually I'll go ahead and we'll see if I can show you it. So look, I'm gonna leave one person in the garrison in this territory. So I've got 30 people in my army. Keep that in mind, it might be a little while. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing here. We'll see if I can show you. Depends on how this game goes. But basically, if I leave someone in a garrison in a territory and an enemy army comes along, they'll just take the territory for free. My guy doesn't even fight back. If I come back later and retake that territory, that guy is still sitting there. So in this version, there's a huge bug where it's completely pointless to ever put any garrisons out there in the wild. I don't know if that's true of the castles as well. That would be basically a game-breaking bug. You can never defend any of your territories. Very strange. And I think I've noticed the AI opponents won't really defend their territories either, so I guess that'd be fair. Ooh, what do I want to do? I could get 2 catapults. I think I'll do that. Hopefully it's not a bad idea. Looks like I'm under attacked. And I'm going to go ahead and retreat. Okay. So the question is, I do want my territory back because that's where all the income comes from. Do I use Robin Hood on that already? I think I do. Now, in this version, the other Saxons don't seem to attack you much, although they will raid your gold, which is really annoying. Okay, so I have 2 catapults, 34 soldiers. I'm going to go ahead and see Robin. And I need to defeat this guy's field army. This one, Robin doesn't send you men, he comes and damages the enemy numbers. Yeah, let's go and do catapult barrage. That was crazy effective. My portrait just went from frowny to smiley. I don't know what that means in this version, honestly. I do want to knock out one of the enemy players. In this version, the enemies do a terrible job of defending their home castle for the most part. So if you can be convinced that their army is somewhere else, you can sneak right in their front door and just take their place. I was not paying attention. I don't remember where the orange guy is, so I think I'm going to take a turn to just take some more territories and then see if I can figure out... Okay, that's where the orange guy is. And then that guy's attacking me. Let's do catapult barrage. You see the field battle is going so fast. Oof. Okay, I'm going to try. If you ignore her, you lose leadership. If you try and you fail, you lose leadership. I'm just in trouble no matter what. I am going to switch the emulation speed down to the original. And you'll see it is painfully slow, but it's the only chance I have of winning this fight, and even then it's ridiculous. and there's no blocking in this version. So reading the reference guide, it just basically said attack when his sword is up. But I don't know what that means. And this whole sword fight is happening in slow motion. So I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. The guy's not really stabbing. I don't know if I'm supposed to hold the button down. I don't know if this is an emulation issue. So yeah, I'm getting killed by the first guy. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and escape because I might lose leadership, but I don't need to lose... I don't know why I'm losing life as I'm trying to run. That is not fair. So anyway, this version of the game loses major points to me because the mini games are so unplayable. This could be an emulation error. I might be unfair a little bit. But you saw me trying to escape. Any other version, when you escape, it's not that hard. That guy was damaging me the entire time I was trying to back up. So anyway, didn't lose my leadership, but I lost some money. Oh, now I'm in this predicament here. I don't have a very big army left. I'd like to get my army home so I can reinforce it, so looks like I already need to call on Robin Hood again. And you can see everything goes a little bit slower because I turned the emulation speed down, so I'm going to turn it back up. I think the normal speed was like 1 megahertz, and if I can max it out at like 8 megahertz. So, okay, let's see. Catapult barrage. You'll notice this game's incredibly swingy. I just lost almost all of my guys in one turn, but then my catapult still won the day with 1 soldier left. Some pretty weird things in this game. Hard to know whether they were intentional, whether they're glitches, whether they're emulation issues. I don't think the emulation would cause that, but if it's messing with RNG, I guess I could see it could. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of a gamble on this one. I now know the orange guy's field army is here. I wiped out his field army 2 turns ago. I'm going to guess he doesn't have a lot of people at home. I'm going to go ahead and make a play for his home castle and use my last Robin Hood. Alright, see Robin Hood. Last time... Okay. And the catapult minigame is not easy, but it's one of the few games I can actually stand a chance. So if you don't have emulation on full speed, this game is really slow. Alright, I'm trying to knock down the wall. You hold down your mouse button. Let's see, I am actually going to slow down the emulation just a touch, because that was a little bit trickier than it should have been. Let's see if I have the right... Okay, these 2 boulders I'm supposed to shoot at this exact, and it's like pixel perfect. Okay, next 2 boulders. Alright. Oops, too low. 1 pixel down from there. So pixel perfect, or it doesn't work. Same boulder, next boulder, same distance here. And then I have 1 day left. Castle strength is down to 50, which is nice. Alright, that's pretty good. I think I only missed once. And then Robin will help. And we'll switch right over to Catapult Barrage. And I got lucky and just wiped him out so quickly there. So all his territories will be mine. Alright. Oof. Okay, I am going to need new catapults. I am going to actually wait a turn, though. So I've never seen the Saxons attack my home castle, so I'm going to ignore that guy who's encroaching on my land. Okay. Ugh. Yeah, and that was a Saxon that did that. So they will raid you, but they won't attack your home castle. Okay. I am actually just kind of playing for money right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take this territory. Oh, I'm getting attacked. Let's see. Catapult Barrage. Okay. So yellow guy just lost his field army to me. Getting tired of getting raided. I think this game has the limit of 3 movement like the Atari ST version. So I want 2 catapults and soldiers. Okay, nobody did anything that turn, so they might be building up their armies. I would kind of like to build up some soldiers myself. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to take 1 turn to take over an enemy territory for more money. Notice that my home castle, I'm surrounded by Saxons, and they're not attacking my home castle, so I'm going to just take advantage of that. They're basically a shield for me. Oh. So Joffrey Longsword took over all that. Alright, well, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I am out of Robin Hoods, so I have to be very careful about how I do this. Okay, I moved 3, didn't seem to end my turn. So I could be wrong. But I need some meat shields for what I'm going to do next. Okay. I know that this purplish guy, his field army's down here. The AI in this game isn't all that bright. So I was like in last place, only had 1 territory. I turned the entire game around, just making sure the Saxon player's army was somewhere else. And then just marching right up to their home castle. You want to make sure I have all my catapults. I'm out of Robin Hoods, but let's see. Want safe passage? No. No, I'm attacking you. And they don't tend to defend their home castle much, so 26 soldiers is not going to be that hard to defeat. So, about halfway down there. I'm going to go up about a pixel. This game has something with the Greek fire I've not seen in any of the other games. If you choose the Greek fire, you're supposed to aim for the windows that are above the walls. And then I guess it just kills enemy soldiers or something. It's kind of cool. I haven't seen that in any of the other versions, but I just never shoot the Greek fire anyway. I have a hard time understanding why I would. And I'm glad of all the mini games in this version, this is the one I figured out, because this is the one I need to actually like beat the game. Okay, I've never actually hit all of them before, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do for this last one. Maybe I'll just try to aim right here. Nope, that was too high. Okay. Apologize. My cats like to go nuts while I'm recording in the morning. That would be my Devon Rex. Alright. Catapult barrage strategy works really well in this game. And that guy stole half my gold. It is constant in this version. Just steal, steal, steal. I'm going to not defend anything because it's pointless. And I'm going to buy some more troops. How about a catapult and a ton more cannon fodder? Okay, transfer them in. Makes me feel a little bit weird that I don't defend my home, but whatever. Now the victory conditions are I need all 3 of the Norman castles. And obviously this blue guy has 2 of them, so that's going to be an issue. Okay, let's blow up this guy's army. Only lost 3 guys. Alright. That guy's really getting on my nerves. Okay, blow up that army. Now, as far as I can tell, in this version, I can get safe passage through the entire game, even after I've already attacked them, which is pretty ridiculous. So, you're gonna watch me kind of cheese my way to a victory here. Because all I need to do is put all my troops into one big army. He says, do you want safe passage? Yeah. Give me safe passage straight to your home castle. And then the entire map belongs to me. So if you can put together a strike force of at least a catapult and some soldiers, you can come back from like a completely losing situation, take over the home castle of the player who's winning, and suddenly you're winning. It's unlikely that I'm going to get a tournament before the end of this game, so I'll just talk about that a little bit. I like how the tournament plays in theory in this version. You control the lance with the mouse. It kind of bobbles up and down, which is cool. And then once your lance is on the enemy shield, you're supposed to press your left mouse button. Sounds cool. Unfortunately, at the native speed of the Apple IIGS, it is painfully slow, and I still have never once actually hit the enemy. So, and then again, like the Atari ST version, if you joust for fame and lose, you lose a point of leadership, which pretty well stinks. And then otherwise you have to joust for land, and then you have to lose land. So my strategy in this version of the game, just go ahead and avoid all mini games at all costs. All right, I really don't know how to hit this last one, so let's see. I don't know if I can hit the last one. I don't even think I took any casualties. So that's a lot of blue. We'll see how far my army can travel in one turn. So it's 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Oh, and I never showed you this. So this territory had been taken over by enemies, and now it's come back to me. Oh, my soldier's missing this time. So maybe that glitch only happens sometimes, because I have seen it. I have left a garrison of like 15 people in a territory, and it was taken by an enemy player, and I took it back, and there were still 15 people just sitting there waiting for me. It's very weird. Catapult barrage. His counterattack of a whole whopping 10 guys. That tells me he has no field army, so I might as well just sweep in for the win. Or I could get ridiculous with the amount of treasure I have. That kind of sounds fun. Let's get ridiculous. So that's 10 catapults. Let's do it. Lost half of my 0 gold. All right. "16 catapults is pretty crazy. He's got 6 guys. Yeah, okay. And he counterattacked again. What is he doing? He's just setting his guys out piecemeal to be killed one at a time, basically. Anyway, let's go ahead and end this. Since I pretty well know I'm going to win anyway, we can fiddle around with Greek Fire a little bit, see if I can hit those windows. Nope, I missed. Oops, too far. Well, as we go into the final stretch here, I'd like to say that I think a lot of love and care went into this version of the game. The graphics are gorgeous, the sound is really good, a lot of the interface is really neat. There's a couple weird either glitches or design choices, like the fact that I can march up to an enemy's castle, home castle, and just wipe them all out. Oh, I was like, where's the music? Finally it plays. So I have this janky crown, looks a little bit better. This is kind of neat though. So this is the only version I've seen that has the crowning splash page and the end splash page. I also just noticed it says Ivan in that hut back there. I wonder what the point of that is. The music is looping strangely too. Yeah, it just starts looping right there. That's really weird. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop there and do my final thoughts. Like I said, I think a lot of love and care went into this version of the game, but there's some game-breaking things in here for me. The swordplay, the fact that you can't block, the fact that on original hardware it seems to run in slow motion. Again, maybe I'm not being fair, maybe it's the emulation, but I'm not sure about that. The joust is not fun. And then the enemy AI is baffling. The Saxons will never attack your home castle. So you could just kind of like watch them take over the whole map and then just stealth attack their home castle, and then suddenly the whole map is yours, as you basically saw in this playthrough. So unfortunately the gameplay and the fun factor is really low in this version. I do think the graphics are good. Sound was alright, but there was weird looping in there, and I don't know why they chose that. But yeah, overall, I had heard some good things about this version, and I think people maybe had some nostalgia glasses because unfortunately the gameplay is not there. The way I'm leaning these days of these sort of classic original versions and ports, I'm actually leaning towards the NES and the Commodore 64 versions as being the most fun, with the best gameplay, where there's actually sort of a challenge to it. But yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. This is a little disappointing. I was hoping this would be a lot better. It looks really good. Anyway, that's it for now. Catch you next time. I'm going to see if I can get the Macintosh version to work for me. And that's it. Thank you.